State of the diamond industry. Where are we? What's the current situation? We're going to talk about sanctions, tariffs, China, synthetics, India. We're going to talk about what do we do? Where do we go? What's going to happen now? I've never seen, well, I have in the past in 1980, but the amount of uncertainty in the industry today, it'll just blow you away. People don't know what's going to happen. They don't know where we're going to go. Everybody, if it's the mining company, doesn't know. Now, I would say the U.S. jeweler, I love him. He knows what he's doing. She knows what she's doing. So the U.S. jeweler, which is the real foundation of this industry, is solid, thank God. And I'm very optimistic about diamonds. I'm very optimistic about the industry. And even now, things look a little bit tough and a little this, that. We're growing, we're hiring, we're moving, we're going forward. So I want you to know I'm very positive about what's happening. And then I'm going to have a real cool discussion with Al Cook, and we're going to smooth about what's going on and what is the way forward over here. And we will have a Q&A answer. You know, I'm going to try to make sure I move fast enough so we have time for Q&A. All right, here's the situation, and frankly, it sucks. Look at your thing. Botswana net rough exports are down 53% in 2 years. That's a lot. De Beers sales, sorry, Botswana is down 68%. I mean, seriously. Hospitals, schools, all those wonderful things, 68%. $300 million loan maybe from the African Union or something. De Beers sales down 53%. Russian rough exports are also coming down, but Indian rough imports, like look at these different things that let me know what's really going on in the business. 36% down. Global rough production down 34, and it'll probably come down more. Indian polished exports, 90% of the polish comes out of India, down 45%. 50% U.S. polished imports over the half carat. By the way, Ahmed will enjoy this one, but the United States data under the half carat is just baloney. It's off. So we look at what's going on here. China's toast. And even we look at the Rapaport prices. So what we have is a situation where things are constricting, coming down. Things are coming down over here. What are we going to do? I remember in 2008 talking to, I gotta remember the name, I'm getting old here. So the guys from De Beers, and they said, fewer, better diamonds. Fewer, better. Not a bad thing to be thinking about as I do through the presentation today. We have a great business, but only if we focus on the right things. So why is this happening to us? How did we get here? What's going on? There's a million stories, a million pieces to the puzzle, but let me give you the basics. China is gone. I mean, good luck selling diamonds to communists, and I'll dig into the other issues of China. Synthetics took away about 55% of the engagement ring market, let alone the other stuff that's going on. And we have a very complicated socio-economic, political situation. Read it as economic warfare. So we're looking at tanks, all kinds of things that come up because we're having an economic warfare. We have tariffs, we have sanctions. But we also have a fundamental shift in the universe from multilateral negotiations in the World Trade Organization to bilateral negotiations with President Trump. With President Trump doing, I guess he's using the economic power of the United States to change the world. The United States is nobody's sucker anymore. And I think it's important for people to understand, hey, this guy is transactional. When the United States was sitting there, World Trade Organization, we're so good, we're helping everybody, we're big generous. Everybody else was transactional. And the U.S. were suckers. And so now that is being reversed. It's funny, because now they don't even bring up the WTO. But let's try to dig a little deeper. Let's see what President Trump had to say in 1988 with OFRA.
What would you do differently, Donald?
I'd make our allies, forgetting about the enemies you can't talk to so easily, I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country, because you can't keep going on losing $200 billion, and yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it, Oprah. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. And hey, I have tremendous respect for the Japanese people. I mean, you can respect somebody that's beating the hell out of you, but they are beating the hell out of this country. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
You've said, though, that if you did run for president, you believe you'd win.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd win. I tell you what, I wouldn't go in to lose. I've never gone in to lose in my life. And if I did decide to do it, I think I'd be inclined, I would say that I would have a hell of a chance of winning, because I think people, I don't know how your audience feels, but I think people are tired of seeing the United States ripped off. And I can't promise you everything, but I can tell you one thing: this country would make one hell of a lot of money from those people that for 25 years have taken advantage. It wouldn't be the way it's been, believe me.
Well, guess what? It's not going to be the way it was. The issue is not President Trump, by the way. The issue is the United States of America and our values in this country. And I can't go into the long story of how we got to where we got with the U.S. and the multilateral stuff, but trust me, the change that we're seeing didn't just come up because President Trump woke up weird in the morning. This is from 1988. And so when you see the moves that are going to be happening politically and everything, it's going to be important for you to understand that there's a foundational effort. There's like I wouldn't call it a volcano, but I'd call it a wave of change, maybe even a bit of a tsunami. So what do we deal with this thing here with China, for example? Let's see if I can get that data up here. This is U.S. trade with China. You're thinking about diamonds. Diamonds are peanuts when you talk about national security. Since China joined the World Trade Organization, the United States have given them, okay, they've given us some nice jeans and stuff, $6.3 trillion, it's a T, trillion dollars. Take a look at that on the right side. So for 2024, the trade surplus between the United States and China was $263 billion. What a coincidence. They spent $231 billion on their military. I mean, we're feeding the dragon over here. So you got to realize that what's going on over here isn't about diamonds or trade or tariffs even in some instances. It's all about national security. 87% of the money that the United States gives a surplus to China goes into military spend. I mean, come on, what the hell? Why don't they put their next warship should be the SS Walmart? How about the SS Amazon? I mean, what the hell's going on here? How stupid are we Americans? This is going to end now. Understand this, trade with China is a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States. You want to see those dams blow up or because of some kind of electronic warfare? You want to see some of the stuff that could happen here? This is not a joke. The U.S. and China are engaged in economic warfare. It's not hot yet, hopefully never will be, but we are in economic warfare right now. The U.S. trade surplus is funding China's military expansion. China is a communist country seeking world dominance. China is working against U.S. interests in cooperation with Russia, Iran, North Korea, and, starting to think about what they're going to do with these BRIC countries. President Trump is transactional. Get over it. We're not the starry-eyed Harvard idealists anymore. And I don't know if he's a great and everything he does is perfect, Let me tell you, I get scared as well like everybody else. But this guy's transactional. He will use economic power to stop in China's economic, political, and ideological war. Yes, war against the United States. He will use sanctions and tariffs to stop their economic and military dominance. And the reason I talk about all this is because this has spillover to all the other countries, be it India, be it you name it. So we have to understand the foundation here is that we are in a position of national security related to trade and the use of trade as a weapon. It's been weaponized and how we're going. So when we think, we're going to sell more diamonds to China, think about it. Chinese economy is not doing great because of real estate. Now the Chinese economy is going to face tariffs and sanctions. And what Xi Jinping is going to do, be a communist. If 40% of the guys in China that graduate college don't have jobs, they're going to be more communistic, more value-oriented to their ideology. So we're in the ideological war here as well. So I would not expect that the Chinese business for diamonds is going to go booming tomorrow. It's okay. It's not happening. Okay, let's do business elsewhere. let's see. It'd be nice if this works. So now you'd say, let me go back a little bit here. Okay, so what about India? Well, India's gotten $570 billion since 2000. Latest, $46 billion a year. You can see every year what's going on there. And this is the total overall U.S. trade between the United States and India. And you got a transactional president saying, we love India. We know India is a nuclear force against Pakistan. We want India to play with us instead of with China. But we're not going to keep giving you all that money every year. And look at this. It's interesting because if we just look at diamonds, gems, and jewelry, India picked up $126 billion. They're running last year at $7.7 billion of extra trade. And I want to tell you something that makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. India is the second biggest market for diamonds in the world today, and they have closed their business to the United States through tariffs. It's not fair. It's not fair. We try to sell them diamonds. No, they bring it all in here and they make an extra, last year, $7 billion. We can't sell them. Sell them jewelry, 28, and that's the official tariffs. And then there's all this other officials, not to talk about other payments. So the bottom line is that India is selling America and not letting America sell India. And this is a fundamental violation of how President Trump thinks. And the go-goody-goody days are over. Not going to happen anymore. So we as a diamond industry need to recognize, yeah, there's going to be issues here with India. India's going to have to change their policy, or they're going to suffer. The overall U.S. trade deficit is $1.2 trillion, 2024. And you can see different countries have different exports. And there's actually a formula Washington is using. It's a little complicated, but I can say to you that we will change the way the United States does business with the rest of the world. And the United States is the market for diamonds. We're the game in town, baby. It's us. It's America. If you don't want to sell America, you can have a good time. And there are other markets, don't get me wrong, but the way the diamond industry is going to go, the challenge for us is to capture America. I think we can do it, and I think we will do it. So I'm very positive about this stuff. But we need to understand what is going on in the world around us. The diamond business is just like a little ping pong ball in the ocean. And the ocean is moving, changing. Tides are going up. There's currents happening, and we need to be able to hook onto those currents of change and get into it. If we look at the U.S. diamonds, gems, and jewelry trade deficit, it's only 1.4% with about a bunch of years, 0.7%. So when I'm going to be going to Washington in about a week or so, talking to people, it's peanuts. Actually, it's not peanuts. Peanuts by bigger, okay? So we should understand that we are an important industry for ourselves, and we appeal to a certain wealth class, which is important. But overall, we're good. We can be good. We're not going to shake the tree. But I do believe that the United States is going to be a wonderful market for diamonds, more than anybody you can dream or expect. I'm going to blow you guys away with why America is going to be an amazing market for diamonds, gems, and jewelry, too. All right, we'll talk about sanctions. Okay. Now, everything that I'm saying today is driving me to a point that says, know where your diamonds come from. Everything's driving me there. It's like, it's the thing that we need to understand. It's the thing we need to do for a lot of reasons. But let's take a look at the sanctions stuff, okay? Everybody's cheating. Tremendous amount of Russian rough is being cut. Moved to Dubai, moved here, thrown into the old washing machine. And now people are importing these goods into the United States, making a declaration to customs that these are not Russian goods. Is everybody a liar? The bottom line is you can't say, okay, and it doesn't matter where they're cutting the diamonds. If it came from Russia, it's cut in India or cut somewhere else, you're still not allowed to import in the United States. Now, President Trump wakes up in the morning, has a big argument with President Putin instead of Musk today. He's going to crack down. He's going to say, hey, you signed that document that those diamonds from Russia. Show me. How do you know they're not from Russia? Oh, my supplier who lives in Dubai, who may be running these sanctions, he told me that it's okay. Bullshit. It's not that. Be honest. Be straight. And it's not fair. I'm talking to one guy. He's talking about sanctions and stuff, and he says, all I'm asking for is a level playing field. You want to charge 10%? Fine. But be consistent. And so there's a problem with that. Anyways, you got a sign that you know where your goods are coming from. And also ask yourself ethically, you don't know where a diamond comes from. And now a lot of the diamonds are going to start getting kosherized. So that means what's left over, do you really want to be selling that? Ask your kids. Ask your kids, should I know where my diamonds come from in my jewelry store? Do I have an obligation as to where my money's going? If I'm paying for diamonds, maybe that money ends up with Hezbollah, Boko Haram. Are you responsible for what you buy? Are you responsible for where your money goes? You are. And I'll give you another trip here. And it may be crazy. I'm a Jewish guy. I believe in God. You screw people, you're going to get screwed. And if you ask me, how did the diamond industry get into such a mess? One of the things I'll tell you is, if we sell blood diamonds, and where the hell do you think those diamonds from the Wagner Group are going? You're going to get screwed. It's just karma. It's just the way God runs the world. So if we want to be good, if we want a good industry, we have to be good. And diamonds are only as good as we are, and it's really important that we know where our diamonds come from. I'm telling you. Maybe I get down on my knees like I did last year and say, please don't buy those blood diamonds. I mean it. You know, fuck it. Please don't buy diamonds. You don't know where they come from. Don't buy those diamonds. Know where your diamonds come from. All right. So let me tell you a story about diamonds in India if you really want to understand what's been happening with synthetics. So India is an amazing country. We've been there for, I think, 2000. I love them. I love the Indian people. I love the culture. I love the people. And I get to eat Jain food without worrying about whether it's kosher. So what happened? You know, once upon a time, only 20% of the diamonds mined were gem. I'm going back to 1970. They didn't have any imports of rough in the 60s into India. But India is an amazing country with amazing people, with amazing creativity, with amazing craftsmanship, with people that said, hey, I can take an industrial diamond. 80% were industrial, 20% were gem. I can take that industrial diamond and cleave it 6 times cone and do this and do that, and I can get maybe from 1 carat, I can get 4 points of TTLB Melly. And they did it. They did it. They cut those diamonds that everybody thought were industrial. And we ended up in a world which is 20% industrial, 60% near gem, and 20% still gem. And that was great. Yeah, they democratized the diamond industry. I remember going to Walmart the first time and seeing natural diamonds in Walmart for $199. And that was great. I had a discussion once with Nikki Oppenheimer about it. I'll tell you about that later. But anyways, what happened was that the diamond business got democratized. And it created aspirational demand. But now everybody can have a diamond. I once wrote this article, I called it Junkin'. Everybody got angry at me. I said, the guy comes home, a woman comes home from a party, her maid's also wearing diamonds. But Nikki Oppenheimer actually said to me, he said, we know that when people buy diamonds, it's addictive, and if they start buying diamonds this way, then they'll buy better diamonds. And it's true. So this question about synthetics is this whole question about the 60% of near gem. And that's a real issue. Because if I'm buying fashion jewelry, I mean, what did the head of Signet say? Why did you not do so well last Christmas season? He said, we didn't have enough synthetic diamond fashion jewelry in our stores. Amazing statement. Interesting point. And he's right. So when we understand that we've democratized the diamond industry, we've also opened ourselves up to different types of competition, which is fine. Competition is good. So let's see where this led to, what happened with this. So here I'm talking about synthetics with an S-I-N. I got Tom Chatham out here all pissed off and ruffled feathers. Who the hell? I don't care. So aren't synthetics a sin? Are they kosher? Will they be kosher? What's the problem with synthetics? Actually, understand, there's only two problems with synthetics. And one of them's going away really fast. They're both going to go away. The first problem is that you, as a jeweler, are selling your customers something that you know price is going to drop like crazy. And it's just not right. Why would you sell someone something for $5,000? It's going to be a Walmart for $299 or $599. How's that woman going to feel about that engagement ring? When she sees the same thing, you know, for like hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. How's she going to feel? Feeling. This is an emotional business. How do you feel? How does your customer feel? All right. So now the prices are going to keep dropping. And eventually the price of the diamond, the synthetics, are going to be so inexpensive that no one's going to be trying to grab you anymore because they're going to fall to the same prices. I don't know, moissanite, cubic zirconia, whatever. So that's one issue. That's an ethical issue. Don't screw your customer. Hey, what an idea. Don't screw your customer. Hello? Anybody hear me? Second thing is, they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. But I'm not telling you that they're not really exactly the same because of the scarcity of the residual diamonds. I mean, well, synthetic diamonds are going to be the same. FEVS2 better off. So, but look at the diamonds. D-flawless. I don't know. Prices came down, you know. $1 million, say. Get it cheaper, maybe, but $1 million. And then you got a same, that's a one, you know, that's like a 10 carat, say, D-flawless. You get another 10 carat maybe for $5,000 or $10,000. The naturalness gives you a uniqueness in every kind of quality that you deal with so you can segment your markets. So naturals are completely different than synthetics, and everybody's telling them they're exactly the same thing. They're misleading their customers, and it's evil. So what I'm going to be looking at over here, it's interesting because they changed the slides on me here. Synthetics diamond, and I'm going to the Federal Trade Commission, and I'm going to make a statement. I actually made this to the RJC, great organization, trying to do a lot of good work, but they're political. And they didn't do anything with it. So we need to have an agreement with a petition to the Federal Trade Commission of the United States, a statement, simple statement. Synthetic diamonds do not appreciate value like natural diamonds. It's true. Why? Because they can be created in unlimited quantities and are not subject to the same supply limitations as natural diamonds. I'm not against synthetics. Matter of fact, with the ethical situation in the diamond industry today, you bring me some diamond from an unknown source, and you bring me a synthetic diamond from, I don't know, it's made with solar energy, I'd probably buy the synthetic diamond from an ethical perspective. So, yeah, just tell the truth. Transparency. Just put it on the invoice, put it on your marketing material, put it on your GIA certificate. Thank you, GIA, for waking up too little too late, but thank you. Thank you. Yeah, give them a good, give them a good. Support the good guys, support the GIA. Yes. They are a good organization, great organization. They're our mommy and our daddy. So we got these synthetics out there, and now here's something you got to get ready for. Because you're going to get a lot of pissed off customers visiting your jewelry store. Okay, there will be severe backlash against jewelers who sold synthetics at very high markups for thousands of dollars. Get ready for Walmart 2 carats at $299. How's your customer going to feel when she sees this? Come on, it's her engagement ring. Say you screw around the fashion jewelry, who cares? It's her engagement ring. Be careful, guys. And synthetics will compete with simulants like CZ, moissanite, etc. So I go in for diamond engagement rings. I go onto Amazon, $19. Now, I'm not saying this is not synthetic diamond, this is cubic zirconia. Come on, guys. Is that an engagement ring? It might be for some people, by the way. And everybody's free choice, and competition is wonderful. And some people say, I don't really care about the engagement ring. I got the guy. I got the guy. Engagement ring, okay, it's symbolic. And making paper clip ring, it doesn't matter. It's love. It's relationship. So I'm not telling anybody what to buy for their engagement. But if you want to give something special to someone, you know, I say this. Let me say this. Natural diamonds are not for people who want to save money. Natural diamonds are for people who want to spend money. I love her. I want to give her something great, man. That's what this business is about. It's not nice. They don't have money. I'm not saying I have to sell diamonds to everybody. Diamonds aren't for everybody. So if I look at the markets now, it's freaky. I mean, it's crazy, man. What, you got a natural at $3,000 a carat, and then 110? Oh, but they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. Stop saying that. They're not exactly the same. It's outrageous, okay? So you're talking about peanuts here. So look at these 98, 99. Forget the Rapaport list. It's the actual prices. They're 99% below the price of a natural product. Here's the natural, here's the synthetic, and here's 99%. Crazy. It's not our market. Synthetic diamonds are nothing more than a distraction to the natural diamond industry. Focus on what we're doing, focus on what we're selling. I mean, I didn't touch the things, but just look. Story about this guy goes to the rabbi. He says, Rabbi, I can't make a living. I got a pizza shop. The guy on my right is making all this money. The guy on the left is making all the money. The guy uptown, downtown making money. Rabbi, what should I do? So the rabbi says, listen, you're a bigger expert in everybody else's business than yours. Stop looking at your neighbors and just you sell your pizza. We sell natural diamonds. That's what we got to do. Don't worry about synthetics, moissanite, cubic zirconia. It's not our business, my friends. Oh, look at these terrible charts and everything. I can make you crazy with this. The bottom line from this is that if you're going to be doing business and your gross profit is going to die, you cannot survive as a jeweler selling synthetic diamonds without selling something else as well. Your margins will be good, but your revenue is going to be low, and you're going to have a problem paying your electrical bills. So just be aware that the idea that, oh, don't worry, they're going to replace natural, it's bullshit. They're not going to replace natural. Okay? I mean, we could have all been staying in Motel 6, but we're here at the Venetian, and I understand the rooms are pretty expensive. And there are people staying in Motel 6. That's okay. I'm not against them. But we're telling diamonds. We're selling the best damn product in the world, and we should be famous to be up to diamonds. We should be up to diamonds. Not down there with, I don't know, cheap stuff. All right. And look at what happens. It's okay. I'm not against synthetics. Pandora's doing a great job with synthetics. They're selling them. They're good at them. They sell cubic. God bless them. Nothing wrong with synthetics if there's full disclosure and if the price gauging stops. They will be a wonderful product, along with CZ, along with moissanite. But Pandora's got the game. Up 35% and Signet down 30%. Even though they had a nice boom just the last couple of days, $8, because they're doing okay. So I wish them all well. Pandora should do well. Signet should do well. Everybody in this room should do well. We're not against anybody. We should just be for who we are and what we want in our identity. I gotta move. Company results, you can see, look at that, 80% on Pandora. Okay, they're selling less expensive products. And maybe they need a higher gross profit because they got a lot of expenses with salespeople, et cetera. So where are we going? What are we gonna do about this? You got this China craziness, you got these wars going on, you got economic warfare, you got President Trump who is, he drives uncertainty. Where are we gonna go? What should we do? What's the solution? So I'm telling you, my friends, the U.S. diamond business is gonna boom. Honest, smart, expert jewelers and dealers are going to have the opportunity of a lifetime to make more money than they know what to do with. The baby boomer boom is coming. I mean, boom, big boom, boom, boom. Diamonds are forever, little old ladies are not. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? I was out here, some guy says, oh, Mr. Rapper, you're looking pretty good. When I was 40 years old, no one told me I looked good. Okay. But anyways, there are billions of dollars of pre-owned diamonds, gems, and jewelry in the U.S. looking for a new home. Jewelers will make more money buying diamonds, gems, and jewelry than selling them if they're smart. Gen X millennials have money to buy them. I'm telling you, not only are these old guys like me, these baby boomers, dying to sell their jewelry, literally, but the other guys are going to have enough money to buy them. They're going to have so much money that it's kind of unfair. Who's going to buy and sell these diamonds? Are you going to sell them? Are you going to just tell the customer, you bought diamond jewelry? Yeah, I'm not going to buy them back. I'm going to hide under my showcase. No. Greatest business in the world is going to be recycled. Can't use the word recycle. resale of pre-owned diamonds, gems, and jewelry. Huge. And what do I mean by boom? Well, take a look at what's going on here, okay? So you've got, I don't know, the numbers, I'll jump here, I'll show you some numbers, right? So you got the baby boomers at 67, 19.8% of the country. And you got Gen X. Now, what we're seeing is there's going to be, this is a conservative estimate of $72 trillion that are going to be moving as inheritances from the wealthy guys to their kids. Average maybe $750,000. So when we think about this, who's going to get the inheritance? Are these going to be poor Motel 6 parents? $750,000 average? I don't think so. These are going to be kids that went to college, have jobs, they're okay, they're solid, and now all of a sudden they get an extra $1 million inheritance. What do you think they're going to do? Luxury, luxury, luxury. They're going to have that money, they're going to want to spend it. And what are they going to spend it on? If we in the diamond, gem, and jewelry industry don't move our butts, they won't spend it on our stuff. So you got a luxury wallet, and you have to go and you have to grab we have to grab our fair share of that wealth transfer. And let me tell you, these numbers are old. The latest is $124 trillion over the next 25 years. That's $5 trillion a year. $5 trillion extra a year to people from wealthy families. How can you miss? The United States imported $4 billion last year over the half carat. 1,000th of a trillion of 5 trillion is 5 billion. 1,000th. And you're telling me we can't sell diamonds in the United States? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so we have a fertile area, like in Sierra Leone, the banana trees just grow wild, you know? We have opportunity here you would not believe. So what are we gonna do? How are we gonna position ourselves to get that luxury wallet? How are we gonna increase our sales of diamonds in the United States? And maybe not the near gems. And the mining companies have a problem with near gems, that's their problem. We have to understand, with all due respect to the mines, we love the mines, we love the mining countries, but everything here depends on the last 18 inches. You guys know where the last 18 inches are? What are they? Somebody tell me. The sales counter. That showcase, moving the diamond from this side of the counter to that side of the counter, and everything else is bullshit. Get focused on what the real business is about. It's about selling consumers diamonds, wealthy consumers, gem diamonds. You can do other business, you can do sales, you can do this, you can do that, but the real core of our business is the diamond engagement ring area for natural diamonds. We win or we lose based on that, and you have to be crazy to lose this business, guys. I mean, come on. It's going to be amazing. So, how do we do this? How can I sell those wealthy kids, those guys? How am I going to reach out to them? What do I have that's special? Why am I better than a trip to Vegas or, I don't know, another iPhone or something? What do I have? What's my vig? What's my game? Well, this is what I believe, and I believe in it for ethical reasons. I believe in it for every reason you can possibly imagine. Diamonds that make the world a better place. I believe in that, and I believe that's why we exist, and I believe that's what we have to sell. So how do you do diamonds that make the world a better place? What are the prerequisites? What are the rules? So the first is you have to have ethical standards. You can't just sell any diamond. Where'd the diamond come from? It fell off the truck. No. What are our ethical standards? Now, I don't own ethics, but I'm going to move forward. These are Rapaport ethical standards. You got other ones? Sibjo, whatever. God bless you. Have ethical standards. Because if you treat your customer right, and if you're making sure the diamonds you buy don't harm anybody, you are a good person and God will reward you. Think positive. So ethical sourcing standards, and then you need traceability standards. Okay, so I say, I only want to buy diamonds, and I'll show you what Rapaport ethical standards are in a second. But then you got to say, how do I know that this polished diamond came from that rough diamond? And I must congratulate the industry and everybody, De Beers and Tracer. I'm going to show you in a minute, bring Tracer up here in a minute. It's great, it's unbelievable what we're doing. We can actually do this. We are doing it. And we're going to do it better and better, and we're going to capture more and more customers, because what we are selling are diamonds that make the world a better place. And Botswana is the poster child. Synthetic diamonds are ethical. Yeah. Show me the hospital. Show me the school. Show me the wells. Show me the water. Show me the roads. Come on, where are those synthetic hospitals? So we have the ability to show the world diamonds that make the world a better place. And we're negligent if we don't do this. So what are the ethical sourcing standards? I made them very simple. Number one, no human rights abuses in the mining or the manufacturing. Can't hurt people. Don't hurt anybody. Next, benefit to the local communities who should be fairly compensated for the diamonds that are on their land. Don't do a deal with some government guy and some minister that has a bank account somewhere and they throw all the people off, or they put them in cages in Zimbabwe. Don't do that. Don't deal with that crap. No. The people in whose land the diamonds come from need to be compensated fairly. Or else, it's not an ethical diamond. I don't want to deal with it. Financial transparency and traceability. Where's the money going? Is the money going to this guy, then that guy, then Boko Haram? Where's the money going? You are responsible for where your money goes, guys. And your customer will hold you to it. Your children will hold you to it. Where did your money go? You bought something, you set the money out, where'd that money go? And if you don't know, you're participating in something which I believe is pretty evil. So it's simple. No human rights abuses, benefit the local communities, financial transparency, and traceability. Traceability means you also see where the money flow is coming from, where the money is going to. So it's pretty simple. You don't need to go to the OECD. You can use the OECD guidelines and all kinds of bullshit out there. But bottom line, this is what I believe. You may believe something different, but this is what I believe. Now, what is the traceability? How does traceability work? And I'm going to be inviting up here two very great people in a minute. First of all, you got to scan the rough diamond. If you don't scan the rough diamond, you're pushing paperwork around. I don't believe you. I don't trust you. It's not traceability. So you scan the diamond at the mine from a reputable, decent mining company. Then you scan the diamond again when it comes into the factory. The diamond could be moving around in the market. Doesn't matter. Then you check the process, the ERP, from rough to polished. And let me tell you, every diamond factory that's a scale, they want to make sure their workers aren't stealing their diamonds. So they're scanning the diamond through the production process. And then you do a final, uniquely identifiable scan for the finished polished diamond. Could be a JA certificate, could be another certificate, something that says to you, I looked at the paper, I looked at the diamond, they match. So what we're dealing here is proof positive that the uniquely identified polished diamond originated from the uniquely identified rough diamond. That's what traceability is about. It can be done. It is being done. They want to do a presentation. Do your thing. You can talk over there. It's fine.
I lost my voice yesterday. I found half of it this morning. So I'm not yet fully there. But hopefully I'll be audible enough for you to appreciate what we have to say. All protocol observed. I note your presence, Minister Kenewendo, and everybody else. Good morning. I think the question that we need to ask ourselves is, do consumers really care where the diamonds come from? One might ask, do they really want to know if they're ethically sourced? Do they value traceability? Or is this just a trend? I think the answer is obvious to us. It's resoundingly yes. The luxury consumer wants more than brilliance and clarity. They want to know the story behind the stone. They want to be assured that their purchase reflects not just beauty, but ethics, responsibility, and trust. Provenance is no longer a nice to have. It is central to the consumer confidence, and the diamond industry must evolve to meet this expectation. On Friday, during the official opening of the House of Botswana, His Excellency President Duma Gideon Boko, President of the Republic of Botswana, said, and I quote, "The natural diamond story must not only thrive gems through gem certificate, but through marketing, provenance, and consumer education," end of quote. It is worth noting that true value comes from authentic origin, ethical practices, and transparency. All these are principles that are woven into the DNA of Botswana diamond development story. It is with immense pride that I officially announce that Okavango Diamond Company has partnered with Tracer and is now on the Tracer platform, the world's first fully distributed blockchain platform purposely built for the diamond industry. This milestone is more than just a technical shift. It is a bold reaffirmation of Okavango Diamond Company's leadership in ethical diamond marketing. In partnership with Botswana, we can now provide secure, tamper-proof digital records of every 3 grain and above of natural rough diamonds from the journey from the mines in Botswana to the global market. This is provenance you can verify. This is transparency on a bullet train. And more importantly, this is trust that is earned and that is assured. Our clients can confidently share the full story of each diamond. Customers gain peace of mind knowing that their diamond has been ethically sourced and transparently traded. The values of Botswana, good governance, social impact, and environmental strategies are carried with in every stone that we sell. It also strengthens our collaborations with Botswana, ensuring our provenance narrative is not just about technology. It is sound, but deeply human, rooted in Botswana national pride, and contributes to the economic transformation. There's more. Recently, Odyssey joined the RJC, and this is very important for us because it is another demonstration of our openness and wanting to be examined by external parties. Why is this important now? Botswana, because now the Tracer and the JRC, the world will be able to see it clearly, confidently, and securely that Botswana natural diamonds have a compelling story to tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Metla. Standing on protocols previously observed, it is with great privilege that I get to stand here with our partners at the Okavango Diamond Company, sorry. Good work in the Okavango Delta, though. Our partners, to be able to say that we are welcoming the ODC onto the Tracer platform. The question, the fact that the ODC trusts Tracer to tell the natural diamond story from mines in Botswana is a true privilege for us. We have to ask ourselves why it matters, I think. And it's not just for the reasons that Martin quite passionately put forward on the stage around where things come from. But I hope that like me, who's had the privilege to listen to the Honourable Minister speak about the power of natural diamonds in Botswana, we have an opportunity to bring that story from mines in Botswana, for the schools and the roads and the hospitals, to places like Las Vegas and America and the diamond market. And it's an absolute privilege for us to be able to do that. The partnership with the Okavango Diamond Company is critical. They are bastions in the diamond industry of what good ethical mining looks like. They source and sell only the best diamonds from mines in Botswana with their partners in Botswana. We stand, I think, as an industry at a crossroads, and I think Martin's made that quite clear. One path leads to commoditization, opacity. The other leads to transparency, trust, and transformation. And I'm honored to say that the Okavango Diamond Company has decided to walk that path with Tracer. And I'm very grateful to go on this journey with them. Thank you very much. I'd like to leave with a small video to show you what it looks like. It's a bit difficult maybe to show what blockchain looks like. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. But we have a short video that shows what an Okavango diamond will look like on the Tracer.
Before the video, I love you guys. I'm telling you. These guys are doing what needs to be done. Come here, get me. Oh, you guys want pictures? I want a picture with you two guys over here, okay? Come on, man. This is the future, man. Know where your diamonds come from, okay? We're going to play the video right now so you can understand it. Is that okay? All right, yeah, see that? Be careful, be careful, be careful. All right, so I'm going to play this video because then, what? Please, this way. They're nervous if people jump. They're not going to get sued or something. Okay, so by the way, everybody's been bugging me for pictures and stuff. So at the end of this thing, I want everybody to come up here to this side of the room, and we're going to take a picture of everybody. I want to tell you the place is sold out. It's crazy, and I'm not some kind of rock star. It's unbelievable. We got overflow room already moving in there. And I think there's about 1,000 people or 800 people in this room right now with us. So it's pretty cool. Hang on a second. Before I do that, I want to take a picture too. So let me get this out here and see if I can do this and get a picture of everybody. I mean, this is amazing. Okay, what a room. All right. So check this out, everybody. Now you'll understand what traceability is all about. Boom. All righty, you saw it. This is not impossible. This is here and now. We can do it. So let's move along. So what are we doing? We're going to get these green source diamonds identified, and then we're going to get them out there so everybody in the United States, everybody everywhere can buy them. It's nice having the technology, but if you don't get your piggy to the market, it's not going to work. So we're going to use RapNet to push green source diamonds to make them available. What's the rules? Diamonds that meet the Rapaport ethical and traceability standards will be listed on RapNet as green source diamonds. A Rapaport source certificate suitable for consumers can come later, but I've asked the GI, I'd rather GI did it than us. But whatever the story is, you're going to be able to get a certificate you can show a consumer and say, hey, I know where this diamond came from. Now, we're not going to give you the name of the diamond manufacturer, so there's no competition. I mean, who wants to show who actually made the diamond? And they, you know, our friends in India do tend to cut out a lot of our US wholesalers, so we're not going to give that information. The green source designation or a source certificate will travel with the diamond just like a grading report. Once you get one of those certificates, it goes with the diamond, and it's identified to the scan of the polished diamond, the grading report, or whatever have you. So this is real. This is now. This can be done. Manufacturers that wish to acquire green source designation are going to have to give us a declarative statement. And they're going to have to say where the diamonds come from. And they're going to have to be very careful in what they say because they're not allowed to say things that aren't true. Initially, we'll only use RJC audited diamond manufacturers. So we know there are auditing standards. If you're an RJC member like we are, you can't make a provenance statement without being audited. Auditing, but not nonsense. Auditing of the actual tracing of the diamond, okay? And the one-time $2 fee of RapNet to show these stones, etc. So I'm going to try to make a market, not I, not me, not we. We, the Rapaport group, all the people in the jewelry industry. Let's get together, man. Let's get these kind of diamonds that we know where they come from out there in the market so you can tell a consumer, yeah, I know where the diamond came from. And people are doing great things. Serena is doing great things with this stuff. GIA is doing great things with this stuff. Tracer's doing great things with this stuff. Let's support all the good. I can sit here crying about synthetics all day. Nonsense. Forget about that. Think about the good things we can do. Move with the good. Move with the good stuff. We're committed to supporting and creating an honest market for diamonds that make the world a better place. Competitive market, transparent market, efficient market. We support ethical competition and encourage others to apply our ethical sourcing and traceability standards, or CIBJO standards, or other standards. No one's trying to own anything here. Issue your own certificates. We'll be happy to list them in RapNet as long as they meet our standards, as long as they're honest. So no one's trying to corner any markets here. We call upon the diamond trade, that's you guys. Join us in promoting and marketing diamonds that provide real benefit to the people from where our diamonds originate. Let's work together and create spiritual sparkle. Spiritual sparkle. Man, you give the diamond to this woman, she says, wow, you know what you did? You gave me that diamond, and man, it helped people and made the world a better place. Think about the emotional power, the emotional added value of that. That's our real business. So let me show you how diamonds can do a good thing, and maybe you'll enjoy this one. True story.
Sierra Leone, Connaught District, West Africa.
On March 16, 2017, a 709-carat diamond was reportedly found in Sierra Leone.
First of all, we don't have school. 2, no hospital. 3, we have poor road network. And 4, no chance for our children to be educated. The past diamonds, whether it was taken to the government or not, we don't know. And nothing was done for this village. We are left with nothing but just the name.
Role that Rapaport played in Sierra Leone after the Civil War to transform the image of our diamonds from blood diamonds to peace diamonds.
No good road, no water supply, no electricity. What to eat is absent. The diamond can bring us light here. So if whosoever buys the diamond, let him come with light in exchange. Barter system, we are no more slaves. Africa, we are no more slaves. Yes!
That's what diamonds do. Not could do, that's what they do. And you know, we had some bracelets here. We're not going to sell them yet. We have to do all the marketing for them. But this is an example of the first time the women in that village are actually making money doing something, creating sustainable economic development at the village level. Nothing to do with diamonds. Diamond thing's over. But what happens after the people get the money from the diamonds? Where do they go? What do they do? How do we deal with development issues? You should know there are these peace diamond bracelets. You can see them. They're really cool. And they're made by these women in this village that, I don't know, a couple of years ago, didn't have food. So it's really cool. So I just want to show you that. Now, we're going to have some roundtable discussions after this thing from 10:30 to 12. And it's great. There are going to be 3 different tables for discussions about diamond sourcing, diamond pricing, and RapNet. And everybody's invited to come and hang out with us. And I will personally be available at the booth, whatever, 15031, right opposite the whatever pavilion up there on the main floor. And I'm around to hang out. I'm around to talk to people. I'm around to hang out with you guys. I'm here today, and I'm really interested. And now we're going to get into some really cool stuff, okay? I'm going to hang out here with Al, and we're going to talk about where we're going with this business and where we're going with this industry. And, you know, great pleasure, privilege, invite Al, you know, it's just amazing. Hang on, wait. And he's like just a good guy. I'm amazed. Yeah, oh, repairs this big monster industry screwing everybody all the time. Not anymore. I mean, I shouldn't say not anymore. Not now. And so I like Al. I think what he's doing is a good thing. His heart's in the right place. And I think that's really amazing. And we have to work together. The industry is really so, in some ways, messed up that really now is the time for all of us to come together. And I think what Al said the other day, I was listening to him, he said, by working together, diamonds are forever. And I think that is such a wonderful statement because it tells us where we're going. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show another video. I'm going to ask Al to come up over here. And while Al's coming up, we're going to show the next video. Come on up, Al.
I'm here in Kono, in eastern Sierra Leone. It's a really beautiful place. I'm surrounded by rainforest, waterfalls, rivers, but there's beauty below the ground as well. This is one of the best places in Sierra Leone to find alluvial diamonds, diamonds underneath the mud, in gravel, brought down by rivers. And I'm here because GemFair has been here since 2018, transforming alluvial mining. GemFair basically does four things. The first thing it does is it works with alluvial miners to raise standards through training on safety, training on environmental issues, training on human rights.
How is it to work with GemFair here?
Well, I work with GemFair. Since I come to GemFair, we do trainings. For me, the manager, I do training. The leader of the mining with the Ken leader, I do train. My own license holder, we do training.
The second thing it does is it provides a fair price for the diamonds that are recovered.
For let them get money no more. GemFair train we, if you have fair diamond, it benefits you, it benefits the country, follow the GemFair training. But for the past 3 years with GemFair, wonderful in my life. I don't push me picking them. They're in a university now through GemFair. The picking they do very well.
The third thing it does is it provides traceability so that diamond miners can trace their diamonds from the source.
They send the agents there, they go see you 4 corner pairs there, like this one, plot 5. You see under the right plot 5, plot 18, the right panel. This now, you see the one at the water, you see this one under. All this now mean 4 GPS point them. If they send the officer, you can't see these 4 GPS points, he's satisfied, he take document from you, satisfied, though you don't join GemFair.
And finally, and all around me here, we work with diamonds after the mining to transform the land back into agricultural farmland.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, it was a mine house area. We had so many pits, and sometimes it posed danger to kids around the place, and mainly for mosquitoes. We get malaria through mosquitoes. So like covering this place today, seeing this place like this, I'm so impressed and I'm happy with what GemFair is doing and what I am doing.
Give it up for Al. Come on, come on. All righty. Oh, I don't know no conclusion yet. So we're going to just sit here and schmooze a little, and hopefully they're going to shoot the cameras on us so we won't look at the black screen. Sal, what do you think of all this? What's going on around here?
I mean, I'd just start with this room. I don't think there's any room like this in America, in the world. We've got more than 1,000 people here. If you want to change the industry, this is how we do it. So maybe a round of applause for Martin for convening this incredible group.
So what's going to happen with these diamonds? Where are we going to go from here? What's going to happen to us?
I think this has been a fantastic week, actually, for the things that you, Martin, and we deeply care about, which is diamonds that make the world a better place, diamonds that do good. We've had the GIA coming out with their plans to join Tracer following the Okavango Diamond Company. We've had the wonderful news that the GIA will be classifying natural diamonds in the right way and in a very different way from synthetic, from lab-grown diamonds. We've had the news on the desert diamonds that De Beers will bring. I think for people who care about where diamonds are from and believe that the journey of the diamond should be as beautiful as the diamond itself, this has been a very good week.
All right. But look, I'm a jeweler. and I've been screwed by these synthetic diamonds that you also screwed around with. What are you gonna do for me? What you gonna do for me?
I think it starts with two things. Firstly, getting really clear on synthetic diamonds. So we shut down Lightbox.
Yeah.
And we shut down Lightbox for the reasons that Martin showed us. It's job done. At a wholesale level, you can buy 100, 1,000 lab-grown diamonds for the price of one natural diamond. So now, the good news actually is we can take all those scientists who are making lab-grown diamonds for jewelry and get these amazing PhD-level people to focus on actually creating synthetic diamonds to make the world a better place through medicine, through technology, through friction stir welding, all these technical uses. So that's the first thing, really differentiating between these two totally different products. But the really important thing is recreating desire for natural diamonds. And that's what we're so passionate about in this room. And in this modern day and age, it's about the beauty of the diamond, the beauty of the jewelry, and the beauty of the journey that the diamond has been on, and the beauty that the diamond does, whether it's in Sierra Leone or Botswana or Namibia or South Africa or Canada or anywhere else. It's about diamonds that are sustainable, ethical, and responsible.
All right, so I'm a jeweler, and I'm sitting here on maybe Rodeo Drive, maybe I'm in Tampa, maybe I'm in Atlanta, and the guy walks in there, and how am I going to sell him? What you going to do to help me sell him a Botswana diamond that makes the world a better place? What you going to do for me? You're going to give me training, you're going to give me money, you're going to give me co-op average. What are you going to do for me? I'm a jeweler. I want to go with you. I love you. I want to sell those diamonds. How are you going to make it possible for me as Joe Jeweler to accomplish that and to sell those Botswana diamonds? What are you going to do for me?
So it's what we do together. It's what we do together. So what can we do in De Beers? We've announced that we're going to have the highest level of category marketing. That's diamond marketing. That's non-branded diamond marketing. We're going to have the highest level of category marketing that we've had in well over 10 years. You're going to see a diamond is forever. You're going to see a whole round of wonderful marketing for diamonds. And the great news is for the first time, the government of Botswana and De Beers are working together to fund marketing. And a round of applause, I think, for the government of Botswana in this room for that.
All right, but like, a guy walks into my store, he says, I want to buy a diamond. And he says to me, he says, why should I buy a natural diamond instead of a synthetic diamond? Why? Why should I do that? I mean, it costs so much more, they look the same. What's the response that the jeweler should have to that guy?
I think we should be clear. Do you want something rare, unique, special to mark the most rare, unique, and special moment in your life? I'm a geologist, so I think that actually most people actually struggle to comprehend quite how old a diamond is. Imagine we're the human race. The first humans came out of southern Africa, not so far from our diamonds, about 300,000 years ago. That's a long time ago. But the diamonds that we see around this room, they're more than 1 billion years old. That's 3,000 times older than humans. Compare that to something created in a factory in China 3 weeks ago. There's no comparison. And that, to me, is what we should be saying. So we in De Beers, we can bring the money, we can bring the marketing, but we need everyone to work together to tell this extraordinary story of why a natural diamond is incomparable to a lab-grown diamond.
I think that's a good point. I want to answer the question, too. Yeah, give me a hand. I want to answer the question, too. Look, I've got to find my notes over here. The natural diamonds are weird. And scarcity is not consistent. So if you want to buy something that's special, you're thinking, wow, blue diamonds, why don't we sell them for $20 million or something? And then you got regular stuff. Think about aspirational demand. Think about what the uniqueness of scarcity is in the natural world, because there's no scarcity and no uniqueness of scarcity in the synthetic world. And think about also the exponential scarcity as you look at size, color, clarity. You go to a 10-carat deep flawless and yeah, you're $1 million. Because by combination of scarcity, it's exponentially increasing value. And so scarcity has got to be one of the most important factors in what a person buys in a diamond, and also in the woman you choose to live with, in the life you want to lead. And that combination of emotional value, that's why we talk so much about diamonds to make the world a better place too, but it's not just that. The product itself is unique and is different as every single person, as every single woman. So I think that we have to get that answer out there. I think the jewelers have to know what to say. I think, and I want to encourage you to bring back the Diamond Promotion Service. Bring back training. I'd encourage you, go work with the American Gem Society. Give them some money. Let them train all those really good jewelers that are experts in how to sell the concept of the natural diamond, the uniqueness, the scarcity. So I want to encourage you to do that here. Use this.
Can I say a couple of things about scarcity?
Yeah, that's why you're here, man.
So when I was studying geology, we had this thing called Moore's scale, and it's the scale of hardness in minerals. And right at the bottom end, the softest minerals on Earth, that's clays, the kind of mud that you'll get. At the very top end is diamond, 10 on the scale. But as a geologist, I could test all these other soft minerals. I could never test a diamond when I was doing my geology because they were too rare. The other thing I learned more recently, and I was so amazed by this, I had to ask our team in De Beers to double check it, is that every gem quality polished diamond in the world ever produced could fit inside a London bus. I said, that can't be true. Now, I'm from London. I assume everyone knows what a London bus is. It's about the same size as this big red background up here. It's about the same color as well. Every single polished diamond in the world could fit inside a London bus. That's incredibly rare.
I would agree with that, yeah, it's rare. So by the way, I want to thank Rivka, my wife, for being here. She's here. And I gotta tell you, she's pretty rare. She's very rare. We've been hanging out how long now? 1980, what were we out there? 40-something years, 45 years, yeah. And she's always still surprising me by hiding stuff every time I look for something. But, you know, our relationships are special because they are rare too. What we remember and how we feel about things. It's not all one line of all the same, all the same, all the same. When I asked Rivka to marry me, I said to her, I said, listen, I don't know how much money we're gonna make, but I'll promise you one thing, you won't be bored. How am I doing, Bergie? Are you all right over here? We're not bored? Okay. I don't want to say that synthetic diamonds are boring, but guys, synthetic diamonds are boring. Okay, let's move on here. All right. So what about, everyone's bugging me on this, and they keep asking me this question, and I don't have an answer, maybe you do. Are diamond prices gonna keep going down now? What's gonna happen to diamond prices?
Well, look, I can just tell you what's happening at the moment. So we saw from Martin, diamond prices have come down over the last couple of years. We saw how much they went up during COVID, when people couldn't spend money on travel, they couldn't spend money going out, so they spent a vast amount of money on diamonds. But since COVID, diamond prices have come down. But look what's happening around the diamond world. Look what's happening to supply and demand. On the supply side, supply is running out. You know, people ask me about this. The diamond industry has spent $2 billion on exploration over the last 20 years. Do you know how many diamond mines we found? One. In Angola. Congratulations to our Angolan colleagues. They found the only one. Diamond supply peaked. It's on its way down. Because of the lower prices, we've seen the closure just now of Lucapa. We've seen the closure of Stornoway in Canada. We no longer produce any diamonds from Australia. We no longer produce diamonds from India. We're going to stop producing diamonds from Brazil very soon. Within 10 years, there are going to be no diamonds from Canada. Diamonds are getting rarer, and that means the supply side is going down. And then you ask me about the demand side. Demand is about desire, and it's in our hands. So that's why we, in De Beers, are restarting our category marketing, and we're putting more money behind it than we've done in more than a decade, because it's in our hands to create the demand side. And we all know that if supply is going down and demand is going up, prices go one way.
Well, I think the game is going to be demand. I mean, I'll tell you the honest truth. I mean, you guys, De Beers have been saying that there's not going to be any diamonds. I don't think anybody's not going to get married because they're not going to find a diamond, okay? Demand, demand, demand. And I look at the mining companies and I look at the governments, and I don't want to say they don't matter, but they don't matter. What matters is only one thing in my view, and I could be different. Demand, 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 demand. And the other thing about the scarcity is, you know, we're so lucky because let's say those near-gem diamonds, they're getting killed with synthetics. But the beautiful, the higher level diamonds, they used to carry the whole market. You know, if we go well with the 20%, they can carry the whole business. So think about the specialness of those better quality diamonds, fewer diamonds. Now, what is it? Stephen Lucia, he was the guy, Stephen was the guy who told me this. Now, 2008 hits, he goes, fewer, better diamonds. Fewer, better customers. We should think about that. Who are your customers? Who's your target? You trying to sell diamonds to people who don't have money? I'm not against people who don't have money. Sell them synthetics, okay? Look for the customers who've got money, because the people that have money want to spend it. I mean, I go shopping, you know what shopping's about? Shopping's about, I have money, I want to spend it, I have money, I want to spend it. I must tell you, there's the desire the cow wants to give the milk as much as the farmer wants the milk. So we really need to focus on that idea of the people that are out there. But now I ask you something, okay? These diamonds from Botswana, and I love it, the poster child and all that, and hello, minister, and that. Are they worth more money than diamonds from unknown sources?
I think if you asked our team from Botswana here, they would say they produce the world's finest diamonds.
But I'm looking at money, baby. I'm just counting the money.
From our point of view, what's really important is people put a value on ethical, sustainable, and responsible diamonds. We know that diamonds are beautiful. We can see that. But we need to create a premium for ethical, sustainable, and responsible diamonds. We do that through the efforts that you're doing on the green certification. I had this joke that Henry Ford, based on Henry Ford, that you can buy any diamond as long as it's green.
I love that.
But the key there is that we need to be able to tell the story and demonstrate to the customer that their diamond is from an ethical country. We're incredibly proud to produce diamonds from Botswana, Namibia, South Africa, Canada, and we need to be able to tell that story. One of the problems we have at the moment is not enough people coming into a store ask the question, where is my diamond from? It's ironic. It's bizarre. They ask, where's my meat from? Where's my coffee from? Where's the cotton in my shirt from? We need to work with them so that they become curious, because they deserve to know where their diamonds are from, and they deserve to know that those diamonds are responsible, ethical, and sustainable. And we are doing so much good. We need to tell that story.
Yeah, so look, let's understand this. To all you 1,000 people out there, look. De Beers is busting their chops to create value. And I'm busting my chops. We're trying to create value, emotional value. But we're not capturing the value. We're creating value, we're not capturing it. Because with all due respect to the mining companies and the governments, they don't know how to capture value. Who knows how to capture value? Jewelers know how to capture value. People on the front line, people talking to the customers. So what I'm saying to you guys out there, you jewelers out there, you wholesalers, dealers, whatever, think about how you can capture the value. I remember when GI didn't have a cut grade. And then AGS came up and made a cut grade, and then they woke up and said, we'll make a cut grade. So competition drives the market, right? And then we were talking about doing those triple X's. They used to be VG. Hey, it cost me 3% more or 2% more to make a triple X. I'm never going to do it, said our good friends, the diamond manufacturers. And I said, bullshit. I said, absolutely. I said, listen, if you can make 5% more for a diamond and you only cost you 2% more, you're going to go crazy. And I can tell you today, 80% of the jade diamonds on RapNet, and talking 1 million diamonds more, they're all triple X's. People are willing to spend more money to make more money. So what we have to do as an industry, focus on capturing the value that we are creating with the technology, with the tracer, with the GIA. I mean, look at GIA certificates. Amazing. Look how much value we captured by having GIA. And no one says today, I'm not going to spend money on the GIA certificate. It's ridiculous. So what we need to do is have this kind of mind shift in the industry. We need training now. We got to teach the people how to sell that added emotional value. I think that is one of the most important things we can possibly do. And we have to recognize that it's the jewelers who are on the front line that are going to drive this industry, and we have to give them every support, every help. You know, co-op advertising, training, whatever you can do for the jewelers of the United States of America. I honestly believe that's the way to go now. That's the way we got to go.
I think that's so important. I really do. I think we need to work together to make sure that we can tell the stories of diamonds. We're off to, I think, a start. Many of you know we've been working with JK and his Signet team. We've trained thousands and thousands of Signet frontline staff. In India, probably you don't know, we've trained 20,000 Indian store workers, representatives of the diamond industry there. But what we really need to do is work with all of you. And there's a big role for the Natural Diamond Council here. We are relaunching A Diamond is Forever, adiamondisforever.com, and we are making sure that everyone has the ability to learn and to tell the extraordinary story of diamonds. I find it so incredible that we've got such a good story to tell and we don't tell it. It's not like there's something we're covering up. No, if you are open, if we're open, we can tell people about this amazing story so that when they buy a diamond, they can feel really, really good about the livelihoods that it supported, the rhinos that go around the diamond mines in Botswana, the African penguins that are protected in Namibia, the kids that go to school, the women entrepreneur in South Africa. It's a fantastic story, and we can tell that story together. And for the first time in human history, we've got the technology to be able to do it. The technology that enables every diamond over 0.5 carats to be tracked, and every diamond to have its story that you can tell, a unique story.
That's nice. Listen, we got 2 mics up here. And I want to make sure we open this up so people can ask any kind of questions they want. Reasonable. So if you want to ask questions, start to line up at the mics. If not, I got enough questions to last us for a little while. But I do encourage people to come up and ask some questions. Sal, do you have any diamonds? No pinky ring? I mean,
I've got our enchanted lotus on my lapel.
Charming. But pinky ring, a 5 carat, you can use a little, we will let you buy a top light brown even, you know. You want those pinky rings, okay?
I'm saving up. It's my 20th wedding anniversary this summer.
Ah.
So my diamond funding is being directed. But keep that secret, please.
Well,
there's a lady in London who doesn't know that yet.
You need some introductions at the show. I hear we have a little bit of goods right down the hall here. Okay, we like to see that, okay. And so tell me something. Who owns Tracer?
Tracer needs to be owned by the industry. So right now, De Beers owns 100% of Tracer. I'm delighted that we're working with Tom Moses and the GIA team. They're going to come in as an owner of Tracer. And we need to make Tracer an industry tool owned by the industry for the industry. Sometimes people ask me, what does De Beers do with all that Tracer data? We keep it at arm's length. We've got a separate office. But how much more convincing will it be if Tracer is independently owned? We've got 4 groups that we're in negotiations with beyond the GIA to come into Tracer. We've been very clear that we are going to offer equity in Tracer at cost, not at any profit to ourselves, at cost. So if you want to join Tracer, well, you saw Wes up on stage. Come and talk to him, and we'll welcome you in, because the more that the industry can own Tracer, the more value we can create from it as an industry, the more we can make it the source of the stories of how good diamonds do.
Mm-hmm. You think we should join Tracer? You think Rapaport should join Tracer? Rapaport?
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, you saw this on stage.
Yeah, here we go. We're just hanging out here. I mean, look, people are very paranoid, you know. I'm a Jewish guy. Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me, you know. So, people are paranoid. Tracers, it's not so funny. Trust me, it's not so funny. Anyways. People are paranoid, the Tracer's got all this data. They know the rough, they know the polish, they know so much. And, they're afraid that De Beers is going to use that information to try to manipulate people. I used to think that way a lot. too. But I think that the world is so screwed up today. There's no way you can use that. No way you can manipulate and everything. Everything's open, everything's out there, everything's free. So I'm pretty comfortable with the idea that, you can honestly say you're not going to use tracer data. I promise not to use tracer data. And as part of our sales campaign or anything. Is that true? Is that fine?
Yes.
You're going to say that right here in front of 1,000 people? You're going to say that? Yeah.
More than that, join us. Come and take an equity stake in Tracer. You might be a little upset to find out it's not the megalomaniac set of data that tells everyone what everything is doing all around the world, but you will find out that it's a tool that genuinely can trace a diamond from the source. And what Martin said is it's so important that we trace the diamond starting at the mine, and we've got this arrangement with Serene that enables us to manage that all-important rough to polished transition, and then we can trace the diamond all the way through from the mine to finger. So, if you want to have that information, if you want to be part of that, join us.
That's nice. That's an invitation to everybody. And frankly, maybe Tracer will become a public company or something one day.
Yeah, we don't see it as a big kind of way of making profits. We see it as a tool that's going to do good for this industry.
Talking about profits, I mean, what's happening with the Bears? Where you go? Who's going to buy you?
Who's going to buy us?
Who's going to buy you? I mean, you want to go on to a Tinder or some dating app? Hang on, come up to the microphones if you guys want to ask questions, because I'd love to see that. I got the lights in my... I'm not going to let you ask them just yet, but get some people standing on those microphones. Yes, so tell us, who's going to buy? What's going to happen with you here? What's going to happen to our buddy De Beers?
So everyone reads the newspapers, right? You can see that... I think the first good news is there's a really healthy level of interest in De Beers. Anglo-American are having a lot of different groups coming forward. You see some names in the newspapers. You see some of my predecessors named. I'm kind of waiting at the moment to see if Ernest Oppenheimer, who started all the good work in De Beers 100 years ago, is going to be making a bid for his old company. But I think the good news is this. We've got two shareholders, Anglo-American and the government of Botswana. Both of them care passionately about the future of De Beers. From an Anglo-American perspective, that means that as they launch the process, as they work towards the sale of De Beers, they care deeply about the future of a company they've been associated with for a century. But from a government of Botswana point of view, the government of Botswana has the right to steer who the future ownership should be. And what that means is we've got a country that is passionate about diamonds. You only have to listen to President Boko around JCK to feel that passion for the future of diamonds. So we've got an owner that is going to be with us for the fullness of time, who is passionate to make sure that De Beers is owned in the right way, that's good for the industry, good for De Beers, good for Botswana, good for all our producer countries, good for this entire group of people here today. So I'm very, very confident in the future ownership of De Beers.
Excellent. So why isn't there a Botswana brand? When will there be a Botswana brand? You're sitting on this great thing, and what's it going to take? When will there be a Botswana brand?
So our government in Botswana is doing a fantastic job of marketing Botswana. We've got Botswana House here, if you haven't seen that. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's all about organic luxury, this sense of luxury that comes out of the earth. I think it's fantastic. What we're doing in De Beers is we've announced this week the launch of Desert Diamonds. Now, what's our ombre desert diamonds? They're two things. First of all, they are diamonds that are in a beautiful palette of colors, from really rich browns to honeys to whiskies, all the way up to cream diamonds. They look different from synthetics every time you see them. But they're about more than that. They're about more than beautiful colored diamonds in beautiful jewelry. They're about the beauty of where the diamonds come from. And our diamonds come from the desert. It's the Kalahari Desert in Botswana. It's the Namib Desert in Namibia. It's these beautiful desert landscapes and all the good that we do. So our passion, and something we invite every person in this room to be part of, is to market and to sell and to benefit from the money and the resources that we are pumping into ombre desert diamonds. This is our first new beacon in more than a decade, and many of you in this room will have been with us on other beacons. Center of my universe, the three-stone ring. In fact, the first beacon we had was the Eternity Ring back in the 1960s. And De Beers beacons, when we create them together, when independents, when manufacturers, site holders, governments get together, we can shape fashion, we can shape desire, and we can make people want these beautiful desert diamonds and want to know the story of desert diamonds at the same time.
Okay, sounds good. All right, left side here. First question, please. Fire away, but make it a question.
Is it on? Okay.
You're on.
My name is Esther Lichthart. I'm a blogger and a jewelry writer for trade magazines. I'm from the Netherlands, and I've been in the jewelry industry for 30 plus years. Storytelling for me is everything, and I think natural diamond lacked that story for a long time, and I'm excited to hear from Botswana and from you how much you're going to do. Why I ran to the microphone is you said something about not the demand in the store, about where the diamonds come from, and that we should work on that. Now, I know in the Netherlands, the jewelers are not so eager to tell their story because honestly, they don't know with the brands that they are selling, they don't know either. What tip would you have to encourage them to have their customers ask questions about the resource of diamonds?
It's a fantastic question, and thanks for asking it. And I think European consumers are some of the most inquisitive about where their products, where their purchases are from. So it's a great place to start in the Netherlands. I think the first thing is it's only in the last couple of years that we've had the technology to be able to do this. So you can't offer something that you can't offer something that you can't supply. So now we can do that. And through Tracer, and particularly through Mountain Province joining Tracer in Canada, ODC joining Tracer in Botswana, we've got this large volume of diamonds now coming through with country of origin. It's hard to believe, but it was only 6 months ago that we could offer country of origin on all new diamonds of 0.5 carat polished and above. So no wonder people haven't been asking for something. But now that it's available, they deserve to know. And it's up to everyone in this room to start telling people where diamonds are from. And you know what? If you go into a boutique, if you go into one of your stores, if you go into one of your shops, and you get this array of diamonds, and it says, this beautiful diamond is from Botswana, this one's from Angola, this one's from Canada, this one's from South Africa, and then there are some unnamed diamonds. You know what people will ask? Why is there no name on this one? And that's when we can do something really beautiful, which is we can make it really important to know where a diamond is from, and we get premiums if you can tell people where a diamond is from. But even more importantly, everyone needs to raise their ethical standards because people are going to be asking those questions. And that is the biggest good we can do for the diamond-producing countries. If every country has to live up to the standards that countries like Botswana has set, that is the best thing we can do for the continent of Africa and for all the diamond-producing countries. So thanks for a great question.
Thank you.
My friend, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jacques Voorhees, formerly of Polygon. Now I'm doing AI for the jewelry industry. This a bit takes off on what you just said, but if it's true, Martin, that a large part of the supply for diamonds is going to be coming out of the secondary market, and also it's true that it's all about the story of where the diamond came from, how do you jibe those two things?
I think it's a great challenge that we have to figure out what to do about the secondhand market. Part of it is that there's a story of the person that owned the diamond before. Part of it is the story that the jewelry is magnificent. You can buy things in the secondhand market that they can't even create today. It's going to be a different story than the idea of diamonds that make the world a better place, okay? And it's going to give us an opportunity to sell things that are different. So the diamond story isn't one story. And we need to think about what is the role of the jeweler? What is the jeweler doing? He's providing expertise and knowledge. And I'll tell you, in the secondhand business, you really have to be an expert to understand the piece, to be able to authenticate it. So I think that when we look at the diamond market and we look at the opportunities for jewelers, we're seeing competition maybe between secondhand and newly mined that makes the world a better place. And let me tell you, nothing wakes up markets more than competition. So I'm thinking about what standards we can use so we don't have this problem like they have with recycled gold, okay? I know that when we do our auctions, we went down to the pawn shops, we went to verify where these diamonds coming from, are they truly owned grandfathering? So I'm pretty excited about it, but there's the different stories, and there's different opportunities. And I think all together, as we work together, it's going to be fine. So I think that if you look at a piece of jewelry and you say, wow, you know, I can get this piece of jewelry, I love it, this woman had it, you know, and then you look at another, you know, piece of jewelry, this helps people in Africa, whatever, it gives us a diversity of products that we can sell that is going to encourage more business, more selling, more opportunity, and also the profits. The profits in the recycle market are huge, tremendous.
So both stories can be good.
Yeah, and the idea that you have more than one story only helps you. Come on, guys, let's just be cool. Let's just talk. Look at the business of the jewelry isn't about the diamonds, isn't about the gems, isn't about the jewelry. It's about the person looking at you from across that counter. And what you're here to do as a jeweler, you're here to make that person happy by being knowledgeable, by being honest, by letting them know actually what's going on. So I think that when we transcend the product to the people, transcend the product, I think that is really the best advice that we can give people.
Hello, Martin. I'm so happy you spoke about transparency between lab-grown diamond and natural diamond. And I came here not for a question, but just to relay some information. I come from Belgium. I'm auctioneer and I'm also legal appraiser. And in 2019, we had a royal decree for B2B business. But since 2023, we have a royal decree for business to customers to be really transparent about what we sell. And we have the obligation to write the weight of natural diamonds in carats and the weight for lab-grown diamonds in grams. We are not allowed anymore to write the weight of lab-grown diamonds in carats. So it was just an information.
Thank you.
And so we need sometimes some help, but sometimes the governments are there to help us to improve this problem. And thank you to the CEO of De Beers to make this traceability. Because as you said, in Europe, people ask for origin.
Excellent.
And this is so important. Thank you.
Now you're running out of time here.
Okay.
One second, I get it. Okay, here we are.
Martin and I are good at shaking things up, so hold my beer. I think the diamond story sucks. I am sorry, it is so boring. And I've watched all the beers talks, and I've been in the Natural Diamond Council, and it's like, it's old. No one gives a shit that it's old. They don't. And not only that, old stuff isn't even cool anymore. You know, antiques aren't selling, so lose it with the old stuff, okay? And number two is even the traceability. I run a diamond group of a shit ton of jewelers, and I've done survey after survey to see if they care that it came from Botswana. I want them to care. You want them to care. I've done survey after survey. Do you know how often an American jeweler is asked where a diamond's from? It's never. It's not once a year. It's not twice a year. It's never. So as much as you want them to care about it, as much as I want them to care, they don't. So stop trying to tell the customer what they should care about. Okay, I will get to a point that's like a question, okay? But so I really think we need to find what people do want. We have to make it personal. That's what they want. What's in it for me? You know what's selling now? Lab diamonds that are shaped like their dog or their thing, because it needs to be about them. So how can we, number one question, how can we make the diamond story their story? Because what's what? I don't care about Botswana. I want to, but it's not my story. What's my story, okay? And the reason people did like diamonds was because Marilyn Monroe wore them and she was hot and she looked amazing. They were aspirational and because it was valuable. I'm like, look at this, I made it. These are the antlers of the the people kingdom, and they want to show it off. So maybe we can go back to making it, how can you show it as something aspirational or valuable? I think we need to sell value because those are things that people care about. Or one other thing is coolness, right? Like there's diamond sneakers that sell and there's like, I go look around everywhere. I was out at the clubs and people have diamond tattoos. Diamonds are cool. Like maybe we could just sell them that they're cool because right now your stories are boring. They're not good stories. And it's all about demand. It's all about sales. I love sales and we can sell these things, but we can't sell them by saying they're a billion years old because the customers don't care.
I like that. Look, yes, I think what you're saying is interesting. And here's the challenge. Yeah, she's right. I don't care how old those diamonds are. But you got these people with, again, $1 trillion. You know, they're not buying those Patek Philips to tell the time. So we need to create a new idea, a new way. We have to create demand, guys. And creating demand is challenging, and it has to be different. And it doesn't have to be the way De Beers says. And you know, like, daddy is daddy. You know, but hey, I want to do my own thing.
Can I just build on that?
Sure.
You know, I do think it's dangerous to underestimate your customer. I think that Americans are a pretty smart lot, and customers are evolving. But I do agree with you on one thing, which is there's a real power to uniqueness. And lab-grown diamonds can do their thing. I'm not worried about that. But what we can offer is true uniqueness inside the diamond. And what we're doing with natural diamonds at the moment through these desert diamonds that we'll be bringing forward is really emphasizing unique colors, colors that you choose to reflect who you want to be, who you are. A diamond that is unique as you are. And that is the piece I agree with you on, and the piece that I think we can do far better. And we now have the tools, we have the ability, and by this fall, we will have all the marketing materials so that we can all get behind the uniqueness of natural diamonds.
Yeah, and listen, guys, we got to create demand. We got to think out of the box. And I don't know that De Beers or the mining companies or Rapaport have gotten the answers for us, man. We're in the field. We got to play the field. We got to figure out what our customers want. And then we have this great product, and we got to figure out how to sell it. And so, you know, we got to transcend the product even to the extent that we're going to create demand. So you're right. What can I tell you? I'm looking at her, I'm looking at you, and this guy goes to the rabbi and he says, by the way, we're running out of time, you guys. You're going to have to ask your questions a few minutes later, but let me just tell you this rabbi story. So the guy goes to the rabbi and he says, oh, man, my wife is terrible, and he tells him about the wife, and it's terrible stories. And the rabbi looks at the guy and says, you know, you're right. You're right. 2 minutes later, knocking on the door, in comes the wife. She says, my husband, what he did and what he does, and whoa, wow. The rabbi's beard stands up. And he says, you know, you're right. The rabbi's wife shows up and comes out there, and how can they both be right? And the rabbi looks at his wife and he says, you're also right. The point is, there's more than one way they say to skin a cat, but there's more than one way to sell a diamond. And what we need is diversity of thought. That's why I encourage that. You see something, you say, this is bullshit. I don't like this million deer crap. No. So you'll find some other way to do it. But I will tell you, people are going to have the money to spend on luxury. And we have to not sit back as jewelers and say, well, okay, De Beers, feed me. I'm some lazy guy. No. We, at the jewelers of the United States, have to go out there and we got to feel the market, understand the market. We got to tell De Beers what to do. We shouldn't just be in the taking end of all this stuff. Look, it's 10 o'clock. I got to wrap this up a little bit. I feel a little guilty, but we will be around. What I'd like to do is two things. First of all, I'm going to give you my last slide. I'm not even going to get up, stay exactly where you are, because I want to end with a thought. Yo, you guys in the back over there, you AV people, can you give me my last thought? Here you go. So I just want you to think about this, guys. There's a reason that God gave diamonds to the poorest people in the world and made the richest desire them. This is sitting behind us. Bridging that gap is tikkun olam, fixing the world. And that's why the diamond trade exists. That's why we're here. We're here to make the world better, not just the diamonds, but we, by bringing these people together.